I have a very clear memory of when I was a senior in college. I had the chance to go to Scotland and do a year of studies at St. Andrews University in Scotland. And there was a Catholic chaplaincy there, and there was also a Catholic club, and they would invite a speaker once a month to come and give a talk. And one time it was a speaker was actually a professor from the university, a philosopher. And he wasn't a sort of a modern existentialist philosopher. He was actually a classic Thomistic philosopher, a philosopher that had studied St. Thomas. And actually he had gotten his doctorate at Oxford University, and here he was at St. Andrews. And so they had him come and talk, and we had a talk by him, and then a few of us actually afterwards went over to a pub and had a pint with him. It's very Scottish, so he went and had a pint in the pub, and we were talking there, and he says, well, we don't live in a godly society. We don't live really in a godly society. And this was like back in 1985. He says, we don't live in a godly society. He says, well, yeah, we don't. He says, see, there are no images of God in this room. There's not a single image of God in this room, a single representation. I'm kind of going, well, come on, this is a pub, this isn't a church. But, he says in Catholic countries, you will find that. In Catholic countries, you will go into a cafe or a bar and you will see a crucifix, or you'll see an image of Our Lady, or you'll see someone. That's a Catholic country. Those are the image of God that is present in us. And so I was just thinking about this as here we are on Independence Day, and here we are. And that's some 35 years later, and I was just thinking, what would he say about our world today? What would he say about our world today? When it's not only that we're facing the image of God from our society, we're facing the reality, we're facing the institutions which have come from that Christian belief. Our fundamental beliefs are being put in question. Our fundamental reality of who we are as human beings is put into question. Our fundamental reality as being a man or a woman is being put into question. That's how far it has gone. That's how far it is. And I think we have to say it, we're at war. We're at war at this time. This is war. It may be a spiritual war, but this is war. But we have a weapon, and it's the same weapon we have to go back to again and again. We always have to go back to this weapon, and it's called the Rosary. We have to take up the Rosary. We have to invoke Mary as our mother, Mary as a mother of this country, who will lead us back, to the path of reason and understanding and having a sense of proportion of what is right and what is valuable in our society. And not being so polarized, but having a sense of what is valued and what is proportioned and what is necessary. But Mary is the one to lead us back, and she is the one when we have to confide to her. America needs a mother, and America needs Mary, and we need to invoke her. And this goes right. This is exactly what the gospel is talking about today. This is exactly what it's talking about. What did he do? Jesus hid these things from the wise and the learned, and he revealed them to Mary. He revealed them to the little one. And what is this all about in the gospel? Jesus, he begins his public ministry, and what does he do? He goes up on a mountaintop, and what does he do? And he begins preaching, and what does he say? Blessed are the powerful, blessed are the rich, blessed are the ones who are successful, blessed are those who have done all kinds of great things. No. He says, blessed are the poor, blessed are the meek, blessed are the persecuted, blessed are the merciful. He says, blessed are the little ones. And when we invoke Mary as a mother, when we pray the Rosary, we become the little ones. We become the little ones who are confident in God rather than confident in ourselves. And he has the power to act in our society, and has the power to bring us back to a sense of reason and understanding. And a reason, and to understand what the importance of these things are. So we need Mary as a mother. We need to pray the Rosary. We need to pray to her. We need to invoke her as our great leader. There's I don't know if it's a little known fact or a big known fact. I think it's a rather little known fact. But you know that there was one country that escaped communism? Did you know that there's one country that escaped communism without a fight? And that was before 1989. That was way back in 1955. That country was Austria. Austria was a part of the Soviet Empire. Austria was a part of the Soviet Empire, and a priest there led a Rosary crusade. He led a Rosary crusade, and he said he wanted 10% of Austrians, Austria is a very Catholic country, 10% of Austrians to say the Rosary every day. They had over 500,000 people saying the Rosary every day. In 7 years later, in 1955, the Russians left. Today, they still don't know exactly why that happened. They don't know what the motivation, why they had done that. There was no real reason to do that, but they left. So the Rosary is a powerful instrument, and our invoking Mary as our mother is a powerful fact. It is a way for us to return to sanity in our country. And we as Catholics have to be spiritual warriors. We have to be prayer warriors who are able to take up the Rosary and take up our prayer to Mary, our mother, and invoke her and invite her into our hearts, into our minds, into our homes, that she would be a mother of this country. And she would love this country. She loves this country as a mother. And she hurts for this country. And she hurts for all those people who suffer in this country. But she helps us to understand the right path, the way through which we know to come out of this darkness, to come out of this into the light. And so, yes, and it's not about being an arm wrestle. It's not really about being an arm wrestle of let's outpower the other side. Let's outpower the other side and take them. No, it's about a coming together. But a coming together in truth and understanding and a proper understanding, and not in a false way. That Mary can lead us out of this, and Mary can lead us to where we need to go. And I think it's critical at this time, critical in our country to do this. And this isn't something I'm saying just out of rhetoric or out of sense of preaching. This is a serious time. I think this is a serious time. We've lived in a great country, and we've benefited from many good things, and yet we can take those for granted, and we can say it's always going to be like that. It's been like that in the past, and it'll always be like that in the future. But no, the good in this world depends upon our prayers. It depends on what we can do by praying. And if we don't take our part in praying, we could lose it. We could lose it. And think about that for your children. Think about that for your grandchildren. So I invite you to pray to Mary and pray to her, and other prayers that you think are important. But I think at this time it is especially Mary that we need to invoke as mother of our country, mother of our souls, and mother of our hearts and our families.